Good day, beautiful people. Today we will take a look at your medical technologist licensure examination or the board examination for medical technologists. Note that the licensure examination for medical technologists in the Philippines is actually based on RA 5527, or that is your Philippine Medical Technology Act of 1969. Please note, this MTLE or your Medical Technologist Licensure Examination again is based on your RA 5527. And yes, your Medical Technologist Licensure Examination is administered by the Professional Regulation Commission. And yes, it is administered by PRC. It is administered by Professional Regulation Commission. And this board exam, this MTLE, your Medical Technologist Licensure exam, is, it regulates the entry into the medical technology profession. Again, it regulates the entry into the medical technology profession. Again, please note that your RA 5527 here is the law that governs medical technology in the Philippines. It governs medical technology in the Philippines. It governs the practice, the education, as well as the licensure exam of medical technologists. Last time, I told you to read about RA 5527 and its amendments. You have the amendments, you have your RA 6138, you also have Presidential Decree 1534, and Presidential Decree 498. Okay, please note that all of this RA 5527 and its amendments, as well as, of course, the current laws and regulations, they ensure competency, professional standards, as well as ethics, okay, all throughout the medical technology profession. Again, in the board exam, the MedTech board exam is administered by your PRC. Anyhow, okay, let's take a look at your Professional Regulation Commission. Please note that your Professional Regulation Commission is a government agency. Yes, it is a government agency that regulates different professions. And yes, we are regulated by PRC, or the medical technology profession actually is regulated by the Professional Regulation Commission. Sorry, just a brief. Okay, just a brief one about PRC. Please note that your Professional Regulation Commission is created under the Presidential Decree 223. Okay, again, it is a government agency that is created under the virtue of Presidential Decree 223. And the main purpose is to regulate professions, which includes medical technology. You have actually a lot of professions that are regulated by PRC, like the criminology, the teacher, and others. Okay, again, your Professional Regulation Commission, they regulate and supervise a lot of professions. Okay, and please note that for your PRC, they what do you call this? They ensure competence. Okay, they ensure competence. Uh, they ensure competence of qualified individuals that enter the professional practice. Meaning, if you pass the licensure exam given or administered by PRC, then you are somewhat competent. Aside from that, they ensure uh, ethics, okay, among individuals that enter the professional practice. Okay, in case of, yes, aside from that, your Professional Regulation Commission, they issue certificates, licenses, and professional IDs. Okay, yes, you have your PRC ID as what you call. Okay, and so they issue that PRC ID. It is a professional ID, ha? It is not a professional driver's license. Anyway, they issue certificate like a certificate of passing the PRC board or or yes, the board exam, certificate of rating, or certificate of registration. And also, okay, yes, they issue other licenses. Okay, they issue licenses. Anyway, as for MedTech, as for the medical technology licensure exam, your professional regulation, as what we said earlier, they are the ones who administer your PRC, they are the ones who administers licensure examination. Okay, and yes, the your PRC coordinates with the Board of Medical Technology in preparing test questions. Okay, aside from that, they also coordinate to secure exam materials, and they are also coordinate with the Board of Medical Technology to ensure the integrity of the exam. Okay, so for your PRC, they conduct medical technology license or medical technologies licensure examination 2 times a year. Currently po okay, the Professional Regulation Commission conducts 2 medical technologies licensure examination in a year. Okay, on the month of August and in the month of March, months of August and March accordingly. They are also the ones responsible in releasing the results. Okay. Yes, they are also the ones responsible in releasing the results of the examination. Okay, and usually the release time is for MedTech, the release time is usually 3 to 5 working days after the last day of the exam. Okay, because for the MedTech boards, we have 2 days, or for the MedTech board exam, we have 2 days. Okay, it is actually done in a 2 day period. It is done in 2 day period. Okay, as what I've said earlier, your professional regulation commission, they have various professional regulatory boards. Okay, they have various professional regulatory boards because they are regulating a lot of profession. No, anyway. Professional Regulatory Board, the Board of Medical Technology. Again, as what I've said earlier, you have a lot of professional regulatory boards. Okay, and one professional regulatory board that is under the umbrella of PRC is Board of Medical Technology. The Board of Medical Technology. Please note that it is composed of one chairperson and 2 members. So you have 3 individuals under the Board of Medical Technology. You have one chairperson, and currently the chairperson is Marilyn A. Cabal Barza. That is the chair. Yes, she is the chairperson. It is doctor actually because she is a pathologist. Okay, she is your chairperson again is Dr. Marilyn A. Cabal Barza. And the members, you have Leila Lani M. Florento and Maria Lourdes L. Gatbonton. Okay, the members again, you have Leila Lani M. Florento and Maria Lourdes L. Gatbonton. They are the 2 members of the Board of Medical Technology. Please note that the BOMT, or yes, the board members or the members, okay, or yes, they are appointed by the President of the Philippines. They are appointed by the President of the Philippines. And of course, they are recommended by the PRC. They are recommended by the PRC accordingly. Okay, the chairperson and the members, okay, they are recommended by the PRC to the president for appointment. And what do they do? Okay, the chairperson and the 2 members, what do they do? They prepare the exam. They prepare the exam. Okay, they construct actually the exam. Either they construct it or either they get from Q banks as such. Aside from that, they do the rating. and supervision as well as discipline. Okay, and yes, one key important thing is that your board, the members of the board, okay, again, the members of the board, they investigate violations of RA 5527. They investigate violations of RA 5527 and recommends disciplinary action. Aside from that, okay, since they are the ones preparing the board exam, okay, they recommend updates to the curriculum and professional standards. Okay, that is for your board of medical technology. Okay, these two person here, they are tasked to prepare the prepare the exam, or prepare the MTLE questions. So the 600 item questions. So the 600 questions. Anyway, yes. Okay, and so they also gave exam coverage as well as competencies and difficulty distribution. Okay, and so, and yes, how do we know? Okay, we have actually the board exam TOS. Okay, that is the coverage actually of the board exam, which I will be showing you later on as we move through. And yes, somewhat they supervise the administration of the exam. That is for your board of medical technology. And yes, let's take a look at your medical technologists licensure examination. Okay, so yes. Okay, the qualifications for medical technologist licensure examination. First, of course, is the applicant for MTLE should be a graduate of BSMT, BS Medical Technology, or BS Public Health, or because currently we have our program is BSMLS. Okay, and so they should be graduate of BSMT, BS Public Health, or BS MLS. Okay, and please note, if you graduate, you must have completed and complied all academic requirements. Okay, all academic requirements. Okay, and yes, you must be a Filipino citizen. Okay, the applicant must be a Filipino citizen, and the applicant, or yes, the applicant for the examination must be of good moral character. Okay, must be of good moral character, which is supported by the school. And yes, because the school will issue certificate of good moral character, okay, which is needed actually. And the examinee or the applicant for the exam must not be convicted of any offense. Okay, must not be convicted of any offense. Okay, and of course, you need your TOR for this one, your transcript of records. Okay, so what are the documents needed? You need your PSA birth certificate. Yes, you need your PSA issued birth certificate. Okay, you know, as much as possible, the most, okay, and so the most recent one, okay, and so that you got from the Philippine Statistics Authority. Aside from PSA birth certificate, you have your official transcript of records. Official transcript of records, okay, that indicates for board examination purposes. Okay, because when you get your TOR from the university, okay, you will be asked for what reason, for what purpose. Is it for work purposes, for overseas purposes, or for board examination purposes? Okay, and so there should be the word, or there should be the remark for board examination purposes, and there should be a picture, okay, attached picture or ID picture. Okay, your attached ID picture in the TOR. Please note, of course, that the TOR is a proof, one proof that you're done with your BS degree, with your BS MLS or your BS or with your degree. Okay. And by the way, your PSA birth certificate here is a proof of your citizenship in the Philippines. Or, well, yeah, your proof of identity. Okay, your proof of identity. And of course, you have your certificate of good moral character from the school. Okay, that is issued by the school. And then the application form. Your application form which includes your personal data. Okay, the application form, you do it online. Okay, the application form, you do this one online. And then an ID picture, you need a passport size ID picture here. Okay, you need a passport size ID picture. Okay, I think you also need community tax certificate here. If I'm not mistaken, I think you need cedula. Okay, you need cedula. And of course, don't forget your payment, okay, for the examination. Payment for the examination. I don't know, but I think it's 900. Okay, I don't know nowadays. Okay, when I took the boards, when I applied for board examination, I think I paid 900. I don't know nowadays. And don't forget to create your PRC online account. You have your LERIS. Okay, don't forget to create your PRC online account. You have your LERIS accordingly. Okay, and so this is for appointment scheduling and sorry, appointment schedule. Okay, and yes, this is for your appointment schedule. And of course, your account, of course. Okay, so what are the coverage or what are the subjects covered by the medical technologist board examination? You have here your clinical chemistry, which is 20% of the overall board exam, your microbiology and parasitology, which is 20% of the overall, hematology, which is 20%, BB, and serology, it's blood banking and serology, it's 20%, and your clinical microscopy and histopathologic techniques. Okay, please note that you have major subjects here. You have your clinical chemistry, which actually they have 20% weight. Okay, they have 20% weight accordingly. Clinical chemistry, micropara, hema, BB0. Okay, they are your major subjects. They are the major subjects in the board exam. This one's your clinical microscopy and histopathologic techniques. They are the minor. Okay, they are accordingly your minor subjects. Please note that each of this subject you have 100 items. So overall, a total of 600 because you have six subjects. You have a total of 600 items. 600 items. And yes, as what I've said earlier, the examination, the medical technologist licensure examination is conducted for 2 days. Okay, for 2 days. For the first day, you will take clinical chemistry. You will take three subjects here. Okay, you will take three subjects. You will take clinical chemistry, micropara, and histopath. And then for the second day, you will take hematology, BB, and clinical, sorry, or whatever. Okay, you have for the first day, you will have three subjects, two major and one minor. For the second day, you will have two major and one minor. I think usually histopathologic techniques is uh, the last. Okay, I think this one is the last subject. Okay, the manner or the type of exam, yes, they are multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions. Again, please don't forget your weight distribution. Okay, the weight distribution identifies them if they are a major or a minor board exam subject. Okay, major or a minor board exam subject. And again, please don't forget of this major and minor because they are needed. This weight, okay, this what you call this corresponding weight here, of course, 2020, 2020, 10, 10 equal to overall 100%. Okay, please note that they are utilized in computation of the rating. Okay, they are utilized in computation of the rating. Anyway, please note that to pass the medical technologist licensure examination, you need to have a general weighted average of 75. You need to have a general weighted average of 75. Please note 75. And there should be no rating below 50% in any major subject. And please note you have four major subjects in the board exam. You have clinical chem, micropara, and then BB0 and hematology. They are your four major subjects. Please note there should be no rating. So if you did have a rating of 45, then automatic you are failed regardless if you have 93, you have 95 rating in your other subject. And then there should be no rating less than the 75%, less than 75% in 60% of the weighted courses, meaning you did not fail, okay, in 60% of the weighted subjects, weighted courses. Okay, so if you have 73, 74, 75, and then another and whatsoever. Okay, and so let's take a look at the example that will be shown later on. Okay, let's take a look at this example. Okay, for clinical chem, your score, this ones, the 79, the 85, the 90, these are scores. Okay, these are scores. To get your overall to get your general weighted average, you multiply it by 0.20 or 20% to get this one. Okay, to get the weight. Okay, so for clinical chem, you have example, you did achieve 79 points. You multiply this one by 0.2 because this is a major subject. This one is a major subject. This one is a minor one. This is a major. This is a major, and this is a minor one. So for minors, you multiply them by 0.10 or 1 or 10%. 0.10 or 10%. Okay, for major, you multiply them by 0.2 or 2 or 20, sorry, or 20%. Okay, your clean chem, if this is the score, you multiply this one by 0.20. Okay, and the product is 15.8. Micropara, for this one, 0.20. The product is 17.0. Okay, and then clinical microscopy, you did have 90. Okay, and you multiply it by 0.10. Okay, and so on. So what is the weighted average? Please note, okay, you check the weighted average. What is the weighted average here? You sum this once, you sum this all up. Okay, you add them up. Okay, you add them up. Please do it. Okay, you add 15.8 plus 17.0 plus 9 plus 9 plus 16 plus 9.5. Okay, the overall weighted average is 76.3. Okay, please note the overall weighted average is 76.3. But then, going back to the previous one, to my previous slide, sabi natin doon, there should be no rating of less than 50% in any major subject. in any major subject. So this one, less than 50 po ito. 45 is less than 50. Please note ha, 45 is less than 50. So automatic, this one is failed, even if the general weighted average is 76, which is greater than 75. Okay, let's take a look at this another example. For clean chem, you have 75. For micropara, you have 85. For clinical microscopy, you have 90, and so on. Okay, looking at this one passed. Okay, but then, okay, yes, this examinee passed. But then, of course, your task, you calculate for the general weighted average. You calculate for the general weighted average. Okay, there is no rating below 50% in any major subject. Okay, there is no failing. Okay, there is no failed, or there is no less than 75. Okay, there is no less than 75. Anyway, let's take a look at this one. Okay, let's take a look at this. So you have 76, 75, 70, 75, 70, and 85. Okay, please do the calculation and you give your verdict. Did this examinee pass or not? Did the examinee pass or not? Okay, you do the calculation. Okay, basing on it, there is no less than 50%. Okay, there is no less than 50%, and he has only two failed. Okay, less than 75, which is clinical microscopy and BB0. This is only 30%. This is only 30%. The requirement, to be considered failed, there uh there should be a rating of below 75 in at least or more than 60% of the subjects. But then you only have 30% lang. Anyway, okay, you calculate. You check if the examinee passed or did the examinee fail. Okay, let's take a look at this one, this example. Okay, you have a failing clinic micropara, and then a failed HEMA, and BB0, which is 70 also, which is failed, and 59. Okay, this one is automatically failed because he failed in 60%, more than 60% of the subjects. He failed in more than 60% of the subjects. This one is 20, this one is 20, this one is 20, and this one is 10. Okay, this examinee failed. But then, okay, for the purpose, you calculate. Okay, please note that the results, as what I've said earlier, the results are typically released after 3 to 5 working days. Okay, and so 3 to 5 working days after the last day of the exam, And the PRC, or the Professional Regulation Commission, publishes, yeah, they publish the list of passers, top-notchers, and top-performing schools. Okay, the list of passers, top-notchers, and top-performing schools. And yes, they announce the Professional Regulation Commission. They also announce the schedule of oath taking. They also announce the schedule of oath taking. Because after passing the board exam, you need to take your oath. Okay, you need to take your oath. Okay, and yes, right after passing the board exam, you register with PRC. Okay, so that PRC will issue your certificate of registration and professional identification card. Okay, yes, right after passing or after passing the board exam, you register with PRC for you to have your certificate of registration and professional identification card. And yes, then you will have your name, you will have an RMT in your extension or in your name. So you have Juan de la Cruz RMT, something like that. You already have this RMT after your name. And yes, you need to take your oath. Okay, again, you need to take your oath. Okay, you already, if you passed and you did take, yes, you did take your oath, then you are legally, or you have the legal right to practice, or you have the legal right to use the title RMT, Registered Medical Technologist. Anyway, what if you failed? What if you failed the board exam? What if you fail the board exam? You apply again and you apply and take again. You apply and take again. But then, if you failed for three times, if you failed for three times, please note you are required to take a refresher course. Again, if you failed for three times, you are required to take a refresher course. Usually the refresher course is 1 year. 1 year refresher course before you can apply. Before you can apply for the exam. Before you can apply for the exam. Okay, please note before you can apply for. Okay, please note that those who failed to pass the board examination for medical technologist but obtained a general rating of at least 70%, they can register as medical laboratory technician. They can register as medical laboratory technician. But then if if you don't want, then you take the board exam again. Okay, to be a registered medtech. So, your board exam subjects. You have your clinical chemistry. Please note that in the academe, for the curriculum, this clinical chemistry is divided into two. You have clinical chemistry 1 and clinical chemistry 2. Okay. Anyway, for the coverage, you have carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, or tests. Okay, and clinical significance of these ones. Okay, test for carbs or test for glucose, test for lipids, and test for your proteins. Okay, and the clinical significance of the following of these ones. Enzymology, you will learn about enzymes here and their clinical utility or clinical significance. Electrolytes and acid-base balance, as well as endocrinology, you will learn about hormones here and their clinical utility also, as well as toxicology, instrumentation, quality control, and lab safety. Okay, so yes, I lifted this one from your PRC TOS. This is actually your PRC TOS. The TOS, the table of specifications that is utilized by the professional regulation, I mean by your board in crafting the board exam questions. Okay, so you have here uh, manage scientific and technical components of laboratory testing. You have sample management, patient prep, sample collection, labeling, and processing. Please note that as early as PR1 or as early as now, you are learning about things that will be in that are actually that are possibly or that will be possibly asked here. Okay, you have the weight and the number of items. Anyway, okay, what else? Analytic techniques. Okay, automation, reagent preparation, and the following quality assurance and lab safety also. Okay, laboratory safety is not new to you. As early as first year, you are taught in your MCHOC. Okay, and part of this and a lesson in PRMLS 1 is about lab safety and waste management. Okay, so you have metabolic tests, you have NPNs, carbohydrates, lipids, and lipoproteins, specific proteins, liver function, clinical enzymology, endocrine function tests. You have the following: drug testing, toxicology, and TDM. Okay, and toxicology, blood gas analysis. Okay, that is your coverage in ClinChem. Then you have micropara, microbiology and parasitology. Okay, so under this, you will learn, yes, you will learn about bacteriology, virology, mycology, parasitology, antimicrobial susceptibility, and lab safety. So, yes, again, I lifted this one from the board exam TOS. Okay, for microbiology, yes. Okay, bacteriology. You will learn about collection, transport, and processing, culture media, bacteria, your aerobes, your bacteria. Okay, and then you have your mycobacteria, water analysis. Okay, you will learn about included in the TOS is virology and the rest. Quality control and quality assurance and lab safety, they are also included here. Okay, there are questions about quality control in microbiome. Parasitology. Okay, you have the following nematodes. Okay, as the coverage. Okay, and quality control and quality assurance still. Okay, and then you have hematology. Okay, coverage, board exam coverage, you have RBCs, WBC, and platelet disorders, hemostasis and coagulation, hemoglobinopathies. Of course, for hematology, you have, in the curriculum, you have hematology 1 and hematology 2, as well as for microbiology. Okay, for micropara, of course, your micropara, it is divided into four, I think. Yeah, three subjects in the curriculum. You have bacteriology, and then mycology and virology, and then you have parasitology. Okay. Anyway, okay, for hematology, you have the following for the board exam TOS. Sample management, patient prep. Okay, and then analytic techniques, hematopoiesis, red cells, white cells, laboratory evaluation of blood cells, blood disorders or blood dyscrasias, okay, and quality assurance. Okay, that is for hematology. That is the coverage or the TOS for hematology. And then you have blood banking and serology. You will learn about, the coverage, ABO and RH typing, compatibility testing, your what do you call this? Your blood groups, your different blood groups, okay, transfusion reactions, and principles of serology. Okay, so again, for the TOS, you have ABO blood group system, you have your RH, yes, you have your RH, you have your other blood group system, and then you have your minor blood processing, blood preservation and banking and disposal, component prep, transfusion, okay, hemolytic diseases, immunity, transplant and immunology, and the rest. Okay, that is for your Bibicero TOS. That is for your Bibicero TOS. And then for clinical microscopy, okay, the bulk of clinical microscopy is urine analysis. And then body fluids, other body fluids like CSF and the rest. Okay, for your board exam TOS, you have the following. You will learn about, included is anatomy and physiology of the kidney, macroscopic examination of the urine, okay, chemical analysis, microscopic analysis, and the rest. Okay, you will learn. Included, you have your other body fluids, you have the feces, CSF, seminal fluid, amniotic fluid, synovial, and serous fluids. Okay, sample handling and preservation is also included in the exam. Okay, and preventive maintenance. So for histopathologic techniques, medtech laws and ethics, okay, part of the exam or included in the exam, you have tissue processing, staining, cytologic specimen preparation, frozen sections, quality assurance in HP, medical laws or medtech laws and related laws, and ethics. Okay, questions about ethics. Okay, for the TOS, you have terminologies, histology and general pathology terminologies. Okay, your histopathologic techniques and procedures. You have handling of sample, fixation, and the rest, tissue processing and procedure, staining, cytologic techniques and procedures, staining, of course, principles of autopsy, quality control and quality assurance for the laboratory management. Okay, you have laboratory management and research here. Okay, and yes, for research, you have actually 2 points. Please note they do ask questions about research. So that is your exam coverage. That is your board examination for medical technologist. That is your medical technologist's licensure examination. So please, as early as now, you read, read, read. Okay? So I guess let's end here. Let's continue some other time. And this has been Gael, reminding you to live fully, love deeply, laugh often, keep learning, and never forget to enjoy the ride. And as you move forward, may you always choose curiosity over fear, kindness over convenience, and growth over comfort. Celebrate your small victories. Honor your quiet moments and trust that every step, no matter how uncertain, shapes the story you are meant to tell. The world is wide, your time is precious, and your journey is uniquely yours. So go make it extraordinary. Again, this has been Gael. Thank you. Thank you so much, and see you around.